It's Sunday, August 13th at about 7:55 in the morning, and the dogs and I have come over to the Cataraqui Trail at Perth Road, and we're walking east on the trail. We haven't done this walk for quite a while. We've been waiting for the deer flies to hopefully settle down a bit, and so far they seem good, but we might run into a few patches of them as we move along here, but hopefully they won't be too bad. It's a clear blue sky, calm, and 17 degrees right now. Beautiful morning. It looks like they've applied a whole new layer of fine stone dust to the trail here, which is a good thing because this part of the trail hadn't been really well graveled in the past. It was sort of a mix of different gravels and bare grass showing through and all the rest of it. So this has refined the trail a bit here for sure. Just crossed over a Pinnacle road, and now the trail has reverted back to the way it was previously, where you have basically just a couple tracks and then grass in between and then grass on the edges. It certainly is a more rustic appearance, which I actually prefer, but not as good for riding on with your bicycle, I guess. Well, it's just a beautiful morning out here. There's just a few deer flies around, hardly any, so there's no problem there. Bit of a breeze kicking up now, but that's actually not a bad thing. Takes away a bit of the humidity, but otherwise, picture perfect. Lots of bird activity too. Up to about 36 species now in less than an hour walking, so doing pretty good. So it's 9:15 and we've walked from Perth Road here right up to just past McGillivray Road. So after an hour and a half of hiking, I've only met two people on the trail. One fellow was biking towards the east and another fellow was doing photography at one point along the trail beside a marsh, and I stopped and talked with him for 10 minutes or so. Always interesting to see what other photographers are doing. Well, I wasn't going to walk this far, but I decided to go down to Garter Lake. It's such a pretty area, and I had come most of the way anyhow, so just adding on a few kilometers here to the walk. We're already just over 2 hours of walking, and I think it's about another 10 minutes or so till we can get a nice view of the lake. It's still a beautiful day. The deer flies are a little worse here. I don't know if it's just because of the area I'm going through or simply because the day is heating up. Because when we started it was 17 degrees and now it feels like about 23 or 24. So it might be that, hopefully not, because they were fine most of the way. And I'm hoping they'll be good all the way back too, or for the most part, except for maybe this stretch, but we'll see. They're not horrendous, but there's a few of them around biting, getting their last bites of the summer in, I guess. It's just a beautiful feeling you get when you're walking out here. You feel like you're walking through hundreds of miles of wilderness, basically. You hardly see a person, and all you hear are the sounds of nature. Long gone are the sounds of the steam trains and the men working along the tracks. And here we are at 10:07. We've just reached the west end of Garter Lake, and we're going to walk up about halfway to get a better view of the whole lake. This end is kind of marshy. Now we're starting to get a better view of the lake. It's a long, narrow, east-west positioned lake. Very pretty. Just reminds me of being up north somewhere. further than this. Yeah, this is a long walk heading up here to see this lake. I believe it's 10 kilometers each way, if I remember correctly. Oh well, it's worth it. It's a beautiful view up here and a beautiful walk along this stretch. I just love it, beside the cliffs here and lake views, nice straight trail in places, and then you got to go around nice mysterious looking corners and things. And there we are at about 10:15. We've sort of reached the midpoint of the lake and have another view of the whole expanse of the lake, or most of the expanse of the lake. There's a loon sitting out in the middle right off from me here, and one just flew over calling. I think the dogs are getting tired too, so we're probably going to head back, and we got another 2.5 hours walking back now, so hopefully the deer flies will clear up a bit as we get west of this lake again. I'll take a little break here for the dogs. They are getting older now. Luna's approaching 8 and Zoe's approaching 9 this fall. Just taking a rest here on the shores of Garter Lake. Just the sound of the wind in the leaves, a distant loon calling, and a few other little birds twittering here and there. The wind is picking up like they said it was going to. They were actually calling for a 40% chance of showers this afternoon as well. Okay, we're on our way back at 10:20. Well, the skies are clouding up ahead of us here on the trail. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. The sun gets hot when it's shining directly on you. As long as we don't get into long periods of rain or something, I won't mind the clouds. Well, from bright sunshine to total cloud cover in all of about 10 minutes. Anyhow, I don't mind the clouds. It's interesting how it changes the feel of the day though. Well, luckily we seem to have left most of the deer flies behind back there. Here's our little cave along the trail, and the dogs like to come in here and get a drink. It's very dark today, especially now with the clouds. Zoe, don't go up there too far. Zoe. I can't believe how few people I've seen along the trail here. I think it's 4. The previous 2 I mentioned, and then 2 others went by on electric bikes just down by Garter Lake there. And that's it. Over 3 hours of walking basically. We're just coming up to the tree on the right there where there's good access to this little canal here where the dogs can swim. We'll see if Luna remembers it. I'm sure she does. That's why she's going ahead of me here. She has a knack for remembering where good water holes are. Let's see this. She's going to go right down in there, I bet. Yep, she remembers. She can get down into it nice and easy, which is what she likes. Doesn't like to have to deal with any stepping off of rocks or walking over sticks and things. She likes a nice smooth access. There's been an abundance of red crossbills in the area lately. Lots of birders are reporting them, and I have to wonder whether it has something to do with the fires that happened north of here this summer. The red crossbills typically nest up in the northern boreal or coniferous forest, and if a large swath of their area got burnt out, then they've probably come south to find other food sources. Well, 12 o'clock and we're still heading west back towards the parking area. Got a ways to go yet. Luckily the clouds are still holding in the sky, making it very nice for walking. Nice cool breeze. Beautiful. It was great that we got those clouds come in at that time, because if we'd had the bright sun all the way back, it would have got fairly intense on the skin. Back here at Maple Leaf Road, heading towards the Pinnacle Road very shortly. Here's where we climb up to go across the Pinnacle Road. And then we got about a 20-minute walk back to the car from here. So not too far away now, and I'm looking forward to it. Getting a little bit hungry. I didn't have anything to eat before I left this morning either, so that's a good morning of walking and hiking and stuff, and hopefully burning some fat off the body. The clouds are looking a little darker up ahead. Hopefully we'll get back before any showers come, if they are coming. Okay, we're just coming to the end of the hike here at about 12:35. So we've been walking about 4 hours and 43 minutes, I believe it is. We started at 7:52 and now it's 12:35. So 20 kilometers of walking in that period of time, and I'm ready for a sit down. But the weather held, the clouds held nicely right to the end, and no rain, so we can't complain. Beautiful day for hiking. Started off cheery and bright and ended just a little bit gray, but still very nice. Hope you enjoyed that walk along the Cataraqui Trail east of Perth Road.